The role of cities is critical. Cities are on the front line of where the problems are, but cities are also on the front line of where the solutions should be. Some 40 years ago, Birmingham was the first city to open up an office in Brussels. Being members of the European Union, we realised how important it was to influence European policy and then the fundings that would passport down from Europe into Birmingham and the West Midlands. And we realised then that it was critical that we needed to influence those and make sure that our city could maximise the benefits of those policies and that funding in our cities. Similarly, in 1986, Birmingham was also one of the co-founders of a network called Eurocities, alongside the cities of Lyon, Milan, Barcelona, Rotterdam and Frankfurt. The 6 of us established Eurocities then in 1986. Today, Eurocities is the largest network of cities in Europe with some 220 members and the most influential network of cities in Europe. But why is that important? For the last 40 years, Birmingham and the West Midlands has seriously benefited from those resources that enabled us to support projects, programmes and funding businesses, communities, all sorts of support that enabled us to provide initiatives addressing industrial decarbonisation, things like industrial symbiosis, working with our partners in Birmingham such as International Synergies Limited that had the innovative ideas that brought these projects forward. And it was really critical for us to put cities at the forefront of the policy making, put cities at the forefront of action on the front line. What's not widely understood is that urbanisation is a really serious issue. Cities account for 56% of the world's population. That's some 4.4 billion people. That's expected to double by 2050. At the same time, 80% of GDP is generated in cities. So with the accelerating urbanisation across the world and the need for cities to respond, it's, I think, the battle around industrial decarbonisation alongside a broader set of policy areas, that battle will be won or lost in cities.
City councils have a particularly, well, in fact, councils generally have a very unique role to play within sustainability. So we as organisations consume products and materials, we purchase gas and electricity, we travel for business purposes or to and from work. So we as an organisation are in exactly the same position as any other business, any other public sector organisation within the city. So we really understand that actually the impact that we have on the environment is mirrored similarly in the wider city as well.
I think the financial challenges that local governments are facing have been widely documented, particularly in recent months. None more than in my own city of Birmingham, which means that we have to make some real serious decisions around how we prioritise the limited resources. Local government has faced 14 years of government austerity, as has many other parts of the public sector. The European Structural Investment Funds has put more than £1 billion worth of funding into the West Midlands and in particular into Birmingham. And that has really enabled us to work in partnership with key stakeholders, business organisations, universities and other sectors in taking forward joint shared actions by which we could address some of those challenges that we are on the front line of needing to address. Working with business partners like International Synergies has given us an opportunity to go on a global stage. We've been to global events whereby we've talked about some of the innovative work that we've been doing here in Birmingham, such as work with the business community around industrial symbiosis, all issue projects that are supporting more effective resource and waste efficiency is critical for this city. This city is here to support people.
We estimate through government statistics what the greenhouse gas emissions impact of the activities within the city, what are those activities and what is the impact that they have. They are largely in the transport sector in terms of movement, which is mainly through private vehicles. But very significantly, and I think perhaps lesser understood, is the actual consumption of products and materials that happen in the city, be that in the domestic house, be that in businesses, in commercial spaces, or obviously very largely in the industrial sector. It's the areas of activity and the significance and scale of those areas of activity that often often have the highest environmental impact, be that emissions to air, which impact air quality, be that greenhouse gas emissions, or be that the waste arisings of the activity which is happening in the city. So those things drive what we focus on and how we prioritise. I joined the council 2 years ago, but I've come knowing international synergies and the work that they do for many years in my prior work across the city. And more latterly, they are directly delivering a programme of small and medium-sized business support around the circular economy and resource efficiency for the City of Birmingham. So it's a programme which is funded by government. It's a programme specifically targeting small businesses and medium-sized businesses, and it's providing support on understanding the impact of your business in terms of resource consumption and looking at ways in which you can look to harness those resources and I guess gain kind of productivity and commercial value from them.